Now let me know if y'all can hear, well, audio and see the screen. God bless. What's up? Peace, Jack. Kyle. Thank you, Judy. Just what I'm needing. Alright, we're going to do this. I want to adjust something first, of course. I've got a great solar weather report for you guys. But beforehand, we're going to find out what's happening. All right, James Kaufman, Wilderness Report today. Today is, folks, it is June 15th, 2025. Happy Father's Day. Let's see if this is the right one. Well, I know where the right one is. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, right? Let's see. I wanted the first comment. I guess I can just hit the video. Everyone says I'm full of bull. Everyone says I'm full of bull. You know what? I have $453,000 I have a question mark right here after 70%, and then look at my first pinned comment. Look how they do it now. Can't even see comments. I hate YouTube. Show me more. First pinned comment. The war doctrine status. One of the 20 sources that I put down. Please also notice the question mark in the title, and go to X and look at the pics if you will. Remember, Grok marks the post if they believe it to be false, which is very well may be. Then let's go here. Let's go here. Just y'all get it. 70% of Tel Aviv reported it's the war doctrine, a source I've used before. You know, I believe anything during war. Propaganda goes both ways, but I believe the war doctrine is a Western-leaning paper or news source, and all I've seen, I know everyone says, well, the skyscrapers are standing, etc. Iran says that they used their 20-year-old missiles last night to barrages, and tonight they used their hypersonic missiles. So maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. It's not me. That's how the news works. You take the news. And I gave you all 20 pictures of Israel and all the neighborhoods and buildings. So it's not like it's, we had someone email me from Tel Aviv and saying it's more like 25 or 30% of the city. Is there a difference between 25 and 30% of the city and 70% of the city? I don't know. Not much of one, really. If that much, well, I just have to bitch a little bit. Because why? Well, I put it as the first source and pin it right here. Then it also says, say, please also note the question mark in the title and go to X. No one ever catches shit. And I'm tired of it. But I love you guys. I don't know. I'm here in America. But I did go over Grok. If it's BS, usually we'll put something below it. Especially within an hour after it's printed. They did get hit hard last night. This guy argued with me earlier. They'll never... Do you think that Iran will ever tell you how hard they get hit? Of course not. That is the most crucial information That is number one. If they say 25 or 30% and they're calling me from Tel Aviv, which just happened, then that's trying to stop a news source. I'm surprised we're not shut off yet. Now, we're doing a solar report, but I have to cover this first. I left, and there are millions of leaks. Just hit Tel Aviv destruction and Tel Aviv damage, and then either hit latest or hit most common. So everyone's yelling at me, but you know what? I gave y'all the source right here, first thing I gave y'all, and I gave it to you in the description too. And if you heard me, I was going to mark it AI because I think that things might be doctored by Iran for propaganda. That's if you watch the whole video, you might have heard that. Now, I do think that they tested a nuclear bomb at one of the facilities that Israel tried to bomb. I do, in fact, think they tested one. And that source is in there, too. Don't worry. That's Matt Wallace with NBC News. If you want to know if it's a earthquake or a nuclear bomb, all you got to do is look at what's called the primary wave. I'm probably the only person that knows this, but I'm willing to teach you guys because y'all are so smart. The primary wave is the very first line you see in an earthquake diagram. And if the primary wave is the biggest wave of the entire event, let's call it an event, then that was a nuclear bomb. If the primary wave is beat by a couple of waves or one wave, minutes later, then it was not a nuclear bomb. It was an earthquake. That's the only way you can tell. That's 100% how you tell. I've already taught y'all this, so, but, y'all tried to, like Dr. Joey, y'all tried to, everyone that really did their homework knows. I'm pissed off because I had all these people that think they were military, but they fell for the propaganda that you guys won't. And then there's this that came out, 2 minutes ago? 2 minutes ago? I think it was 2 minutes ago. 9:26. It was 2 minutes when I pulled it up. Fox News.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Ashley Strohmeyer live in New York. Crews in Israel are searching for survivors following Iran's latest barrage of missiles and drones. We're going to get right to Trey Yanks, who is live on the scene in Tel Aviv. Trey, tell us what you're seeing from what I'm hearing.
Mike Johnson, that's bad news.
Where you are right now.
Listen to what Trey has to say.
There was just a large-scale Iranian ballistic missile barrage.
This is tonight, or, a few hours, 5 minutes ago for them. Let me just tell y'all, Iran says they only use their 20-year-old shit, and tonight they're going to use their hypersonic missiles that were furnished by Russia, just like Yemen were furnished.
Toward Tel Aviv, one of those missiles slipped past air defense systems and slammed into the buildings behind me. This is a residential area of Tel Aviv. This is an area that people are known, and we're just going to move 1 second because they're trying to...
These are like no other bombs I've ever seen, man. This is Fox News. This is not Joker City. They blow up everything, man.
Clear out this area, Ashley, as we talk, and my cameraman is going to show you the scene here as we move. But again, this is in Tel Aviv, Israel's second largest city, and you can see that these crews are trying to get a fire under control. They are looking through these buildings to make sure that no...
Someone told me in my comments, one of these brainiacs, there's 0 Israeli losses. Zero. I wanted to come through the computer and you know what them, but what can you do, man? It doesn't matter if they have missile bunkers or not. Trust me, if there's this kind of damage, it's not 0.
One is trapped under the rubble. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings directly affected by this. And again, the police are just moving people around here as they try to clear a path for
These are Chinese reporters.
and ambulances
These are Chinese reporters you see all over the ground
that have arrived here on the scene. Actually, as we move forward here, we will learn more and be able to report more about the location, but broadly I can say that we are in Tel Aviv, Israel's second largest city. The Army and police are aware of our location. We coordinate these things to make sure that we're...
Look how nice the building used to be. I'm just telling y'all, this happened 2-3 minutes ago, and I guess it was 26 minutes ago, Fox. And that was live, by the way, with Trey. He needs to get out of there. My Scott from CNN, get the hell out of there. What are you doing? He didn't even know he was going into a war zone. All right, let's get going. I got a great report tonight. We finally come out of the geomagnetic storm that no one predicted, and there's no cause for. No cause. The filament eruption I saw a week ago, 7 days ago, dark filament on the top left side, that could not have been it. There have been no solar flares, not even an M1 in the last 7 days. So what happened here that put me down like a horse? Thank God I've recovered here. I know y'all heard me snoring last night. If y'all read the title, I was doing a marathon live. I've been going for 7 or 8 hours at the time, and then once I woke up, people were still with me, so we kept going. But I appreciate y'all, and I was a little embarrassed, but shit, I worked so hard, y'all have no idea what I did yesterday. As far as housework, and today I had to take my daughter and ex-wife to Father's Day dinner. No one asked to pick up the check, and so I had to plan for that. Anyway, we've had a very cool day on the KP index, which is really a summary of solar winds and plasma hitting the Earth regularly. This comes from our star, our sun, but really there's no way to know where the quote-unquote, and we call them solar winds. Can we switch that term to, well, how about space winds? Because we don't know if they're being generated by our sun at some point, which I'm about to show y'all, or something else, because there's so many other else's out there. Now, we saw an event on the college index. It is on a mountain. This one's in Huntsville, Alabama. This one's in Fredericksburg, Virginia. This one's in Boulder, Colorado on a mountain. And no one will tell me where the college index is. But they picked up at high, what I understand is a mountain, high altitude, some plasma and solar winds. All right, we're going to keep going. We're going to leave some of this up. So I was able to finally find the German index. So we can get... Now, do you trust the Germans or the Americans more? Can you put neither, James? Which one do you trust more? That is the funniest question I've ever asked y'all. So the Germans have it a little bit different, and we'll look at it real quick. Well, pretty much the same. The Germans have the storm lasting a little bit longer, kind of like the college index. Maybe not. Let's see. 6, 9, 12. 12 and 6 is 18. And 24. 36. 42 and 3. 45 hours. Sorry, guys. 45 hours. 24 hours, 30, 36, look at this, 42. So it nailed, the German index nailed the new NASA KP index, which I think is one of the only things giving us real information that's left. Now, y'all always let me know if there are, any kind of auroras, aurora borealis, aurora australis, either one, because I'd like to know. That's the best way to determine when we've really been hit by radiation. Now, we've just had a decent-sized flare, believe it or not, directly Earth-facing with a large CME. Now, this should knock out our whole planet. If nothing, almost knocked out our whole planet. We also should be seeing solar winds upwards of 600 kilometers per second here. He does look like he's laughing at us, doesn't he? This just occurred in xflare, an M8.4, almost an xflare, but it did create a huge CME, which I'm about to show y'all. It's directly Earth-facing, and then we have a 1-2 punch because we already have the solar winds coming in. And then this would be, of course, plasma created from a solar flare. You can tell when James is in teaching mode. There is the flare. I wanted y'all to get an idea of how bright it really was. I wish y'all could see how close we are. Look, watch my, can y'all see this on the right here? We're like this close to the sun compared to the outer planets. We're like, this is not even figuratively. We're so close to the sun, and I do have some measurements I can give y'all. But we're up close and personal. A little bitty rock, 3 rocks from the sun. Right? And yesterday we did have a decent sized xflare. I don't know if it really did much. It came from sunspot 05, which is really going around the limb. Today's came from the sunspot that's directly Earth facing. And I believe this was at, let's see, 1810. We'll give it 1810 peaking. Because I want to show you how that, it looks like we're moving into an M baseline from a B baseline. Talk about a ride that we'll never make. This is incredible. Look at this. I mean, we just had another xflare, and the baselines, at least to see, well, I'll have it written down here. Baselines of, let's refresh this. Let's see 355 right now. It looks higher than that. All right, taking a look at what we just saw. There's our M8.4. We guessed 1810, 1807. 4114. It is delta. It is delta. It's not beta gamma. It's not simple. It's delta. We had some activity from 4105, like I told you guys. The problem is that sunspot's really around the limb, a little bit too much to be geo-effective. I'm just letting y'all know. This is the big one. Let's keep going. Notice how they don't cut us if we're doing good. All right. If we're not talking about them and their scams, which I always talk about, 4105 is really going around the limb. 4109 is probably the last thing that can touch us. But 4414, I want to show you all that again. Look at this. Doom, 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 doom. It just had an M1.2. It just had an M8.4. That's going to be deadly. It's going to be deadly. Hopefully not for our grid here. Directly Earth-facing is in the northern hemisphere, not the southern hemisphere. Now, we'll show you that explosion. It looks like it might be headed, well, it's a halo explosion, so it's going to hit Earth 100% for sure. They've updated nothing. NASA and them are worthless. 100% worthless, ladies and gentlemen. And I wanted to bring up the last hour of our sun. NASA has come out and warned, and I don't see him. I'm going to show you all the backside of the sun. Warned about this sunspot coming around the limb here. Of course, they know more than I do. They've got six satellites that they swear they don't have behind the sun, as we know. And, well, they're warning about this bad boy here and other sunspots coming around. This is the one that just popped off that we're most worried about. This is our huge coronal hole that should be spurting solar winds upwards of 600 kilometers per second at Earth for about 5 or 6 days. 5 or 6 days. Let's see what happens, shall we? I love teaching. I hear that, Brian. I'm biblical. Now this is, look, see the time, 18:10. It's hidden behind the deal. Look, but it is halo. If y'all can't see it, comes around here. Huge eruption, definitely gonna hit. Look how strong it is coming out. Look at that. Definitely gonna hit Earth. It's gonna be a powerful hit. It's straight on. No bullshit. Don't let them lie to you. If they tell you there was no CME because all their forecasts suck, they might change them tomorrow, but we all know they have to watch my channel first, right? It's a biggin. It's a biggin. Brian, they are all in it together because I have the Germans and the European Space Agency's stuff up here. Bunch of screwballs. All right, today, I already know this. I'm going to help y'all out. Today's the 15th, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there that's a father. I had a great time with my daughter all day, and I missed you guys, but it was worth it. I got a kiss on the cheek and a hug. Anyway, we've had plasma at about 3, going down to about 3 today, from maybe 3.5, 4. We'll go 4. Not even. We can't even go 4, can we? We go 3.7 to 3.5 here. Well, plasma really all day was up and over 10 centimeters cubed, but just barely. It went up to about 12. So this is complete bullshit. Remember, this is the Space Weather Prediction Center that me and you paid to up $1.3 million to upgrade it. What are the inputs? Can I help? I'm a programmer. Can I help? You guys are fucking imbeciles. All right. And then here we go to solar winds. I believe the solar winds started the day out. And maybe I should check this before I put my foot in my mouth. Started the day out at 5:25. They did go up. Let's see if I can grab them. Up to 621. And they're currently at close at 400. So 525 to 600 to 400. Let's see what our new upgrade, $1.3 million upgrade does. They started here at, about 550. I was right. They did go up to 600. The problem is now before the 16th, they're down at 420, which is going to be where my cursor is here. In other words, deep dive. What happened to the coronal hole winds that we should be getting hit by? Right? After 15 years of doing this, and them changing the rules every year, you start to ask what the is going on, right? And I'll show you what's going on. Our shields are down down in pink. Here's the plasma. Our spike in plasma is right here about 11 or 12, like I indicated. Not 3 where they had it. I don't know what this was. Kind of eclipse of our satellite. Missing data, eclipse of our satellite. But the weird thing is, solar winds at that point went from 525. It was almost like something flew by or something, all the way up to 600. Now, they guessed that we would obviously be up in the 600s and 500s, and unfortunately we're at 425. Just like I told y'all, what's even weirder to me is the temperature has stayed, I would call it medium, except for this little bump in plasma right there at 13. Solar wind bump 2. What would cause a 2-minute bump in plasma? It's not 2 minutes, probably 10 minutes at the most. And plasma and solar winds all the way back up to 530, and then all the way back down to 410. So 100. We're talking about millions of miles an hour difference there. Very, very strange, right? But we do know they got it wrong, as usual. And we'll check everything. ACE is our older solar wind satellite. It just starts at about 575 and goes down to right at 400 or 500. Goes down to right over 400. And that's what I saw happen. The question is why? The coronal hole is still directly Earth facing. See if I can get it for you. Hopefully I didn't erase anything. Directly Earth facing, and it's only been Earth facing for a day or two. This is real time last hour, and we've never really had a break. Why are solar winds down to 420 now? Is this live or is this Memorex? That's the main question, guys. I don't think we can trust anything that NASA and NOAA does. All right, the back side of the sun. It looks very quiet to me. Looks like we have 4 sunspots, of which I see 3 of them. Maybe some of y'all super sensitive eyes, which can see 034. I don't see it. I see 033. I see 030 and 029. And these are definitely the same color. So I don't see it. This might be the first time ever such is life. All right, STO HMI magnetogram. Look at this. It's negative over positive in the northern hemisphere. This is the northern hemisphere. It should be white over black, even if it's a badass. This could be white over black. You can argue either way on this one. Let's just say the polarities are mixing very hard, and this is a Delta class sunspot, the most dangerous class. And let's see if we have that up still. We have a 30% chance of having an xflare, a 75% chance of an M-class flare. So it's what we call on, like Donkey Kong. And then they're warning us, this is an older picture from the 14th. Boy, this is going to be real old. This is going to be not this morning, but yesterday morning. Yesterday morning. So it's 48 hours old. That's weird. They're very stingy with their Soho 284 images because they show so much of our solar disk. That's what they're warning about right now. That's what we're going to have to deal with right now. This is a huge coronal hole. Question is why are solar winds down at 424 right now? Anybody? I don't think so. I got kicked out of NASA's forum for asking questions like that. All right, looks like the Europeans are back in class. See what they've got. This is the EESA Euphoria. And let's see here. They did it on the 14th, and nothing. Everyone thought we were gonna get hit. Well, shit. These people didn't even post anything till today. See what date this is. 14th, yesterday, huh? It was the calmest day we've had besides today. So I guess they were all. And look, they have plasma. We never saw plasma over 24. They have plasma going to 65. 65. And look, they have solar winds down here at 300. It's hard not to laugh. Going to 500. That's their estimate. What a waste of taxpayers' money, man. What a complete waste. And then we have another problem y'all need to examine here. Look, what do we have, like jets on the back of our planet? Here we have our planet in white and black, our atmosphere in gray. We're moving to the left at 67,000 miles an hour. We're also moving at you at 544,000 miles an hour. And so at you, being pulled by our star, Big Bang, to the left, our orbit around the sun, gray being our atmosphere, and all the pressure, instead of being out here on the bow of our atmosphere, it's behind us, kind of like we have our jet engines on, but we don't. I don't know where this shit comes from, really. No bow shock. They always tell me it's an ebbing effect. That's why. This is why I got kicked off of NASA's site right here. I said you can't have an ebbing effect without a bow shock. An ebbing effect can never be more powerful than a bow shock either, because when it hits the bow, it moves around and comes back at. This is all based on a boat. But it's the same scientific theory. You can't have a bow shock behind the planet that's moving to the left 100 times stronger than the bow shock. You can't have a pressure zone there. It's difficult to even believe, but I can't explain it. This tells me that we have something else in play. I'm sure they know all about it, and I'm sure time is short, and they're fighting for their last minerals, and as everyone says, commodities, before whatever happens is going to happen. I think time is very short, personally. I don't know what's going on. This could be anything. Could be a binary star, could be a rogue star, could be a planet flyby that we don't know about. Could be a rogue planet. It could be a black hole. It could be, it's constant, it seems like. It could be another solar system moving into our solar system. And I want to show y'all two more things before we go. We have Earth here. We have Venus, Saturn, Neptune. I see a period of, disruption between, I think, the 22nd. Let's see. Well, really, before that. Not there. About there. Between about the 21st, because of this line up here with the moon. If the moon's not involved, there won't be much trouble. That's what I've noticed in 15 years. So, but we have all these planets lined up. We have the big gas giants across. We have Mercury offsetting. Between the 21st and I would guess the 27th. I would think that the 25th, 26th, 24th, all this is prime real estate for large earthquakes. Very large earthquakes. All right. Let's see. I was going to show y'all something else. Should have done it. Well, I remembered it. Should have done it when I remembered it. So, does anyone have any questions? All right, guys. Lots of love. We'll be back for a short go F yourself session. And, I love you all. Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. Most importantly, what was I going to pull up and show you guys? Oh, I do remember. I wanted everybody to know what scale we're on, okay? What scale we're on. Boy, that's working fast. All right, what scale are we on? What do I mean by scale? All right, we are a solar system with one star, right? It could be 2 stars. 95% of all solar systems have 2 or more stars. If we had 1 star, we'd by far be we'd be very unique. The other star usually is burnt out if 1 star is burning, and it's usually on an elongated or not a perfectly circular orbit, although there's stars that orbit very close to each other and stars that take 13,000 years to orbit. So those are Earth years, by the way. So we are Earth, the third rock from the sun, much smaller than we look here and much closer as well. And these planets are much further out. We're part of the Milky Way galaxy, one little dot in this universe. Now, this is not the only universe. We know there's universes above us, to the right, left, in front of us, behind us. So we're the Milky Way galaxy on the outer limb here. That means the Big Bang happened and we were kind of part of the beginning, not the very beginning over here, but part of the beginning of shooting away from the Big Bang. And this is a black hole in the middle of the Milky Way galaxy. So everything, it was like an atom bomb, if y'all know how that works. First, the Milky Way first the universe had to go off. Then the Milky Way and all the galaxies went off. And that shoots the planet away from the black hole in the middle of the Milky Way, not in the middle of the universe. Then we're part of a local group of galaxies. There's several we consider close to us. That's part of a local super cluster, a itsy bitsy little thing. And this big thing behind me here is our galaxy and how and I will say trillions of stars work out, right? And I suggest that anyone that wants to question my work, at least watch it all, because I question it. If I question it, and you go back and question it, well, it just pisses me off. With that said, lots of love, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for all the super chats and the coffees. Although we did get a coffee yesterday, as y'all saw. Wow, we got a coffee finally. The coffee thing works perfectly. I tried it from 3 devices today. Anyone that says that it doesn't, well, copy the URL into your browser and it goes right to it. Really appreciate some coffees, guys. It's laughable. 1 coffee in 2 weeks. I showed y'all live last night. God bless. Share, subscribe. Always remember, anything's possible in Bizarro World. Hey, Crazy Cat.